And we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and action. We are live. It's your girl Mo'Casso and one of my favorite co-hosts, Chy. Chy, tell everybody what's up.
What's up, y'all? We back again with it.
What's up? What's up?
Welcome to the new year. What's up, D? Glad to have you on here. Good to see y'all. We back here with it, ready to talk that raw talk. You ready to give it to them, Mom?
Oh, you already know. You see, we got the itinerary. I know y'all been seeing what's been going down on Twitter, Instagram. It's only January of 2023, and it's been crazy already. So I'm definitely ready. And y'all know, before we get into this raw talk, y'all know last year we really were talking about how we can incentivize our community. If you've never been to a raw talk before or heard it, and this is part of your resolutions to get more in the know, this is where you want to be. Every single Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, Chy and I come and we talk about all of the trending topics that are going on across social media, the news, the world, and we talk about it, whether it's blockchain, social celebrities, like literally anything. We've done AI demonstrations, we've done do your own research, blockchain exploring, we pull up Twitter threads, we get into all of it. And we do this because we also actually have a Discord channel that everybody shares crazy things that they hear throughout the week, and we actually come and talk about it here on Saturday so that everybody can just share their ideas, right? Because that's what society can do. We can share and talk about these ideas in a healthy way. And one of the things is we always keep it raw. So we also kind of find fun little lessons, right? And all kind of different things. So we're about to get into it, and we've got these really cute metaverse mugs that you can now get for free if you simply come and be a part of the conversation here. And you can also get a physical one if you'd like as well on our actual shop. And then you'll see a lot more in store from Chy and myself with our merch, where it will have AI art and also really funny tidbits from this trending topic. So be on the lookout for that. But let's get into it, Chy. We got a lot on the itinerary today. So what's
Yes,
going
we
on in the
do.
world?
So we're starting out with sorry y'all about my background. Um so the topics are gonna be concealed guns in public. Oh, I'm super excited to talk about that. The end of student essays. I wish they would have put it into it long before this, but we're gonna ride with it. El Chapo's wife, prison pics. Okay, y'all remember throwback of Young Thug having El Chapo's wife as his profile pic on Instagram? We're gonna get into that today too. Iggy Azalea's OnlyFans receives 307K in 24 hours. Y'all be hating on the Iggy Azalea, but we're gonna jump into that too. Blue Face OnlyFans, Twitter coins, and Shakira and Strawberry Jam. We're gonna end it on a funny note. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it, Mo. Take it away.
Let's get into it. So what is this first one? What is that? The concealed guns in public. Now, do we have a link that we shared in the Discord for that, or did you want to explain what that topic is about?
Yes, we actually do have a link. You would just have to scroll all the way up to January 1st. I think that's when I first dropped that one. I was like,
awesome.
Oh, this is what we're doing.
So let me also here in the metaverse share my screen so you guys can also see that as well. Here we are.
First you'll be trying to play with folks.
I know, I don't know what's going on with it recently, but we gonna work it out.
Like you're literally running full force.
Because I'm really clicking trying to get out of there. I think I see what it is. It got put on. It's like off the ledge, so there's no ground under me. So usually it was so funny. Somebody was like, "It's always human error, never tech error." So now I try to pinpoint
Wow.
my own errors or whatever. Okay, where's my screen that I'm sharing? Let me just stop and start again. And then we're going to get into this here because I want y'all to see the screen because we got a lot. We got a lot that's been happening, man. And I'm proud of us. We shared it all in the Discord. That's why I'm like, I know we got some stuff up in there. So here we
That's
are.
some good stuff. So while Mo's pulling that up, I'll go ahead and read like a little tidbit here. So starting today, and this is January 1st, starting today, half of American states can legally have concealed guns in public without a gun license or training as long as you aren't a felon. Okay. So everybody's gonna play what's that game? I can't even think of it. GTA. Yep.
Mm.
Everybody's gonna be real life GTA. So Alabamians woke up Sunday with the right to carry a gun without a license. The change, implemented by a state law passed last year, marked a major milestone. Half of Americans, 50 states now, allow people to carry guns without first seeking a permit. 13 years ago, only two states, Vermont and Alaska. I would see like Vermont and Alaska having that. Like Alaska, I would see, yeah, allow its residents the right to carry a gun relied on the Constitution's Second Amendment as blank permitted for all. Okay, well,
I think it's very interesting.
I,
Uh,
I'm glad you started it. I'm
um,
glad you started.
I think that's very interesting, and so I'll put that away right now. But I'm glad we found that article right there that we also have still up right there that everybody can see in the space. But I come from the East Coast where it's like very government oriented, like, you know, because it's like that's where Washington D.C. is, so it's like the federal,
Mm-hmm.
like the feds is out there, like, and so it's very like everybody got government jobs and like follows the laws, and like the laws is extreme, and you got
Mm-hmm.
like a bunch of different law enforcements out there enforcing the law. So to see like a lot of people do a lot of that kind of stuff underground. And so when I moved to the West Coast, it was the complete opposite. It was like I felt like I was in the wild wild west and like back in time, because it was like, wait, everybody out here was like, no, it's perfectly legal for you to carry a gun as long as everybody can see it. And I was like, wait a second,
Yeah.
that don't make no sense. Like, I can carry a gun as long as you can see that I got the gun. But if I'm hiding, like if I got it in my bag, now all of a sudden it's illegal. And I mean, of course, it started to make more sense. And it was like, you know, people do that so that it's like, if you see that there's a gun in the area, maybe you're less likely to do something. Or, you know, we see those things where it's like somebody tried to rob it and, you know, somebody else in the spot,
Mm-hmm.
you know, shot him. But then I also see when that went bad and the guy just like overkilled. And it's just like, it's an interesting topic. And it's definitely interesting to say that concealed guns in public are legal as well, which I think, you know, people already do. I think it's just going to become more prominent. And I'm not necessarily a fan of like more guns. I don't feel like that is necessarily always our answer. But the way that society is moving, you know, it's like the idea is other people have them, so now you got to have it, or you're going to be the one lacking because everybody got them already, no matter what. So that's where it becomes this like, you know, maybe everybody should protect their house, but it's like, what you got it out in public doing? Like, what's going on? I don't know. We got to talk about it.
Right.
What do you think?
I, my thing is like, it's my, I just feel like it's never the gun, it's the person behind the gun. And like, that is the person that could potentially be unstable. And now you have a weapon that could kill people in an unstable hand. And now, like, what do we do with that? Because now you guys made a law stating that like now people can carry weapons, they just have to be concealed, and you don't have to be a felon.
Right.
They ain't gonna
Right.
catch every felon
Right. And I think
with
that's
a
a
weapon,
I think that's a really good point that
whether
you
it's
just
concealed or
mentioned.
not.
Like that part where it's like you don't have to have any training. Like why don't we just add some type of
Hmm.
extensive training? Like just like you got to have some type of license to drive a car, right? Where it's like, oh, you have to have certain amount of hours actually driving a car and somebody that knows how to drive a car to say they was with you driving a car, and you have to have read the book and pass a test and, show somebody else that is registered by the state that you know how to use it. And I think that is an interesting take on it as well, because that also makes more sense, to have to kind of go through those steps to um, carry and conceal and different things like that. So I definitely, that's an interesting take on that.
Yeah, that's just my, like, when someone said that, it's like it's not the gun, it's the person that has the gun in their hand. The gun can't pick itself up and just shoot somebody. It needs help. It takes two to tango. So when someone said that, I was just like, that makes sense, because just like in any situation, it usually takes two to tango.
Right.
So I just um I actually wanted training to like know how to fire a weapon. Because now it is gonna be like the Wild Wild West, and you're gonna have people just shooting and killing people, and the jails are already packed up. They
Mm-hmm.
probably gonna do some community service and then be right out. It's like it don't even matter if you're a felon. You can get a gun and they can they can, what's it, like the VIN or the serial number,
Mm-hmm.
change all types of shit on the black market.
Yeah, you sure can.
So
And
that's a little too raw for ya, but
that's raw though, because hey, it's that's why I said no matter what, people are gonna do it. I think we're just gonna see it more, and a lot of the stuff, because it
yeah,
is legal, you're just gonna see it more and become more and more prevalent. So I'm interested to see,
it's
like,
kind of intimidating.
yeah, right, because it's like we just said, like that means like you say, we have to know how to use it as well, because it's here, it's around. So I definitely feel you on that.
I
D'Anthony.
mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did anybody
Oh,
else have?
good. I'm glad.
No, awesome. I mean, hey, it's food for thought, right? We all thinking about it, learning, and stuff that we got to think about, especially for our kids and things like that. So I know that's a heavy topic and one of those controversial topics, so we won't harp on it too much. It's just the raw talk, and like Chai said, that one is something that we had dropped earlier in the year when the year first started. And it's topics that we talk about because, like we said, we do this every week and we follow it. So, we're going to be seeing what this kind of ripples from here, right? Because, like we said, that's what we're intrigued in, to see how this affects society. Does it help us? Does it harm us? And what can we learn from it? So, Chai, what else do we have on the itinerary to talk about today?
Okay, so what's next? I don't have my phone in front of me.
Looking at the itinerary right here in the space, it says the end of student essays.
Oh yes, that was something that you put down. I was like, oh, I think this ties into like AI art, and like how now you can create like words, and even Canva had that up too as well. So and I was like reading over like some of the messages on Twitter, and I was just like, oh wow, a lot of students like look at things differently, and I think just our generation period um, looks at a lot of things differently, and how to like make things, I guess, easier in a way, and
Mm-hmm.
not as like complicated or um, I guess prehistoric, as you would say.
Yeah, I think that's a great topic. And I actually did bring up the Twitter thread so everybody in the space can see it, and everybody watching as well. So I'll read a little bit here. This is from 1701 Bespoke. They always drop awesome threads, so shout out to them as well. But it says, with Microsoft incorporating ChatGPT into Microsoft Word, yes, y'all heard me say they're incorporating it into Microsoft Word. This means the end of student essays is upon us. There's no way for to tell whether this is good or bad, but we can deduce a few consequences from it. And then they kind of went over a few of those things, like Chai was saying, like how creativity will get a boost, because you won't be staring at a blank screen, figuring out what to write and reworking paragraphs, but you can actually get on to the creative part of it. New mediums will open up, like audio podcasts, video essays, documentaries, and games. And other doors will open, like teaching students the power of AI. And I can say, I definitely agree. When you talk about, I know Chai had mentioned, I wish this was around when I was in school. And something as little as freaking, what is the grammar thing that, Grammarly. I didn't even have Grammarly when I was in college, okay? And I'm like, bruh, if Grammarly, I have it on my laptop now, and I didn't know this was like a normal thing until I was working with another designer who was just like fresh out of college. And she was like, Mo, first of all, you got to get Grammarly on your laptop because like it will literally correct your grammar while you're typing anything. And I'm just like, oh, where was that when I was like in school? And so now if you have AI built right into Microsoft, it's crazy if they're just going to be completing sentences, completing thoughts, completing paragraphs. And like they said, it's going to be interesting to see the good and the bad on how that will affect us, with us becoming more dependent on technology, and using that as the tools that they are supposed to be used for. So I'm excited to see that because I know myself, I'm like very creative. So it's like, that'll just like make me more creative. But for those that are like lacking creativity, which I found out was actually a thing. I guess I never really knew that was a thing. But, this says that was supposed to also help with ideas. So I'm very interested to see if we're going to get like a variety of ideas or if it's going to start to also be like algorithm, right? And start feeding everybody the same kind of things eventually as well.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting that you said like algorithm because like that has become like such a heavy word even in like social media, and like I think of like how this is going to like transform content and how we like communicate with each other. And like we already use emojis, like what's going to be next. Now our words are all going to be turned into like emojis or pictures to like,
well, they call them emotes.
It's just so cool.
That's what they call them now. They call them emotes. And like you said, those are like the emojis, like but they look like your avatars, or they're like a little bit more than the emoji. And it is, right? It's evolving. Everything is literally taking that next step of evolution, and it's crazy to be living through that, man.
Right. I'm excited. Like it's just like now, like the kids of the future, like how your kid and like my children and so forth are gonna like communicate, and what that's going to like transition in for them, and like how fast they're gonna be learning is gonna be insane. And you'll be like, damn, like I was even doing all this and you're doing this, and this is normal. This is a normal thing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it baffles me when my kid comes up to me and says some of this stuff because, he's homeschooled right now. So I'm like, how do you even know about it? But it's because it's already in everything that they do. Like, he kept asking me to play Roblox. And I'm like, okay, first of all, again, I don't even know how you know about Roblox. But it's cool because, I'm that mom. Like, let's try it. Let's see it. And when he was in there, I'm like, this is literally just like the metaverse. Like but it's built by kids, and the kids build their spaces, and I'm like, wow. Again,
that's so cool.
It is. And so when you say like this is being catered towards them, and they're gonna be, when he goes to school, he's gonna be writing using word that already has ChatGPT in it. And it's just like when we were in school and
Yeah.
we had to take Microsoft classes. I had to take that class in college where I was like, learning how to use Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and making sure you knew how to use it. And now by the time they go through that, they're going to have all types of stuff.
Right. Exactly. And it's like, what's that gonna look like?
Mm-hmm.
And what that's gonna turn into. I cannot
Exactly.
sit down for the life of me. But I'm gonna I'm gonna sit down right here. But but yeah, so is there anything else that you've seen on like the Twitter thread that like kind of caught your eye or um else that you've seen?
Not
Oh,
really.
it's kind of short.
Yeah, that was it. I
Yeah,
kind of
it's
had
pretty
just
short.
hit, yeah, I had hit most of those main points, just kind of summarizing it. But you can definitely check out that Twitter thread, anybody watching, anytime. So, like we said, all of this is in the Discord. You can go in the Discord channel, look at the links, read the Twitter threads, because that's where we get most of this stuff from, right? I'm not gonna lie, Twitter threads be having me in a chokehold in comments. I be in there reading them, because I be like, okay, people be getting me with it. It's funny, and it's funny to see what other people are thinking, and that's why I even enjoy these raw talks. Like, let's talk about it. What was you thinking when you seen that? um, so I know we got a few other things on the itinerary. What is next, Miss Chai?
Okay, so we have El Chapo's wife, Prison Pic.
Uh
So
oh.
we actually have a we actually have a link
Let me
to that
see
Twitter thread.
here. Uh oh. Okay, wait, no, that's a different joint. Oh, here she go.
Uh,
Here she
she out
go.
here flicking it up with somebody said that was a trance, but anyway.
Right. My thing was why everybody gotta jump today together. I'm like, that's disrespectful. I wouldn't disrespect El Chapo and say that she with her. But I'm just saying, but we all seen
Nah.
Orange is the New Black. And I think that's why we all just jumped to that gun
Oh,
like, oh, she giving, you know.
oh shoot. I heard about Orange is the New Black and I've never seen it.
You ain't never
Never
watch
even
it.
like
Oh,
watched.
that was a good joint. I'm trying to see. I know somebody got to
Yeah.
have a picture of it, but it's basically when this white lady goes to prison and she ends up like
Mhm.
she was engaged with a dude, but when she goes in there, she actually goes into prison with her ex girlfriend because they was like selling drugs internationally. So then she go into jail and then she obviously gets her girlfriend, and so then it's like that's the whole story kind of thing.
Oh wow.
But it's crazy because
Well, they
you
got
go ahead.
go ahead. All right. They won like awards and stuff for that show, so it had to be like really good.
Oh, it was
But
juicy.
I was just like, I'm not. I'm like, I'm not watching it now. I gotta watch it.
It was juicy. It was
I gotta watch
juicy.
it.
They had really good characters. It was really nice scenes, and I'm all about reform and education. And I think sometimes just putting it out there is how you show people, And I don't think they did it in like a way that glamorized it, but again, just showed again like real life, right? And how people have real stories. Because I think people like hear stuff,
Right.
but they forget that like people have real stories. That's why I'm like, I don't know her story, so I ain't gonna jump and say that they it could have just been a party because they be having functions in the prison and they could have just taken a
Man, they be
picture.
turning up in
You
prison.
feel me?
I'm like, are y'all doing time or y'all having a good time?
You know. So
Like I'm confused.
yeah, but
Like,
it was just funny because again, it's like these concepts. I know I watch a few shows on like Netflix, and again, but this is like the real people. Like, oh, this El Chapo's wife, like she really in prison, and this her in it.
they
Like
don't
no
even pose
TV
like they are
show,
together. It looks
right?
like it's a fan. Like, hey, I want to take some content. Like being like, because they knew who El Chapo's wife was.
Right. Definitely
Like,
agree.
I don't know. It don't. It's not given like we're a couple.
Right. Right. It was giving me just like, dang, that's crazy. They really in prison doing that time for real, man.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
crazy. So, anybody else have any thoughts
Uh,
about anything we've talked about so far? I know we got X, D. We kind of rolling through the topics. If not, no pressure. Everybody that's watching live on Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube or Facebook, make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments too. If you hear something juicy and you want to add your 2 cents, please drop it in the comments. We would love to read about it, see what you have to say. Again, this is the Raw Talk where we can come together and talk about it. And yeah, I know we got a lot more to talk about. What's next on our itinerary?
all right. So we got Iggy Azalea's OnlyFans makes 307K in 24 hours. Okay, go ahead, Iggy.
Okay, Iggy, I'm with you on that. I don't know why everybody be hating on
They be
Iggy.
hating on
Like she not the
look, they be
baddest.
hating on Iggy.
Listen, I'm
They
trying
be
to.
hating on Iggy, and I just don't understand why. She just had one mess up. Like you can do 100 things well.
I
It's
know
just
it.
that one thing people remember. It's just like let it go. Like Iggy has put out like bangers. I
They
just feel like
wasn't they
Iggy was
wasn't
like
there, Chai.
trash.
You know what? It's because we about the same age, and she was that when we was in college. I already know. Oh well, no, you was just in college, but no, you just graduated. So both started college. I think around the same time. Still, like what 2013, twenty
Yeah,
fourteen type stuff. Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
was freshman year. Me and my roommate, we was using Iggy lyrics on our captions. Like like
Exactly.
she was my
But
screensaver. Like Iggy was built, and like you said, I think like you said, the public be waiting to have a reason to say something.
yeah,
So it's cool when
to hate.
you
That
feel
was
me.
like, what was she saying? She was like, I forgot what she did.
I
That
don't
shit was,
know.
it was hilarious when people like ran the video back, but she was saying whatever she was saying quickly, and I was just like, just let it go, y'all. Like it was funny for a moment, and then now it's not funny no more. Like the girl makes her money. Yeah,
Hmm.
she had her baby daddy stupid, but like she's making money, she's providing for herself, she looks good, she probably
Hmm.
smells good, hopefully,
Right. You know
like
she
she
do.
doing her thing.
And and
She
and
out the way.
and that's why I love where you get stuff like this where it's like, okay, forget what the haters say. You got platforms like OnlyFans where you got your supporters can really support
Exactly.
you. And the cool thing is you can be doing anything on OnlyFans. I'm not gonna lie, I had an OnlyFans before, y'all. I swear, when OnlyFans.
If somebody would ask me that, I would have said no. No,
Yeah,
I was
let me
like,
tell
no,
you. Let me tell
mom
you. My
don't.
slogan
Mm-mm.
was, "Child, it was all books, no booty."
That is funny.
When I started,
I believe it now.
you believe
I
in that,
believe it
right? You
now. Now
see
that you
it.
said that, Cass, yeah.
Now you
Yeah.
get it. When I started the grandest lifestyle Instagram, it was, I was doing my Instagram lives with
Oh shoot, that's
authors. It was a
crazy.
book club, and I started it on OnlyFans, and it was $5.55 a month. And I'm like, that's where I'm gonna just talk and do my little behind the scenes of these books. But OnlyFans just got such a bad rap that it just wasn't it. I'm like, nah, like that's not what I'm doing. I'm not joking and winking. Like it's for real. Like books, not booty.
Yeah. People like, oh, maybe she like a book, like a library freak or
No.
something. That's probably what they.
I'm
They're
trying
probably
to
like, oh,
tell
she gonna have
you.
like the books, like I don't know,
But there's a
pose
lot
a
of people
certain
that
way
do
like
like
she's on it.
music, so I'm happy to see people like Iggy, who I'm sure is just being like her cute self. I'm sure people on there like, girl, you better do
She's
something
not
strange
like,
for
and
this
I'm
little
sad that she's
chain.
not doing rap no more.
Yeah.
Like,
But hey, she still at least found a fan base that still wants to support her, and she getting that bread no matter what. And I think the interesting thing
Exactly.
was Blueface, because they also posted how much money he was making on OnlyFans too. That's why I was like, oh, we gotta really talk about this OnlyFans, because they still, like, people
They
still making
toxic,
money.
bro.
Like, people still making money on
Period.
this.
Period. They toxic, bro. Blueface toxic. Like he was like, she was like, stop calling me a bitch, bro. He was like, I called you a bitch because you are a bitch.
No, have you seen the latest though for
I was
today
like,
with her being pregnant and him saying that he's not the father? I was looking on his Twitter today, like, wait
I
a
was
second, I
like,
gotta see what's
this is
happening. And he's
crazy.
serious. He's serious that he's not the father. And I'm like, what? We've seen y'all together for all of this time, and you said you're not the father? Like, I was just appalled. Like, that's what he had to say. I would have never guessed that.
That's crazy. But I mean, it's the shit. Like Blueface, he a street nigga.
Oh, and
Like
not only
he,
that, but I think one of the main things when I seen him saying that is just a messages to these females, because I think a lot of females cling on to people like Chris or Rock, whatever people call her, and it's like use that as a way to justify why they want to act how they want to act. But it's like in these times, you also see at the end of the day, he doesn't think that that's cute, and he doesn't want like you see he just posted like his child, and and it's like now that you see all of it coming together, you kind of like understand the little like underneath message. But it's like, oh, his son, he posted his son, and he's like,
uh-huh.
oh, I told my son I'll buy him candy if he cuss, but he won't cuss, so you must got a good mom, she raising you right. And it's like, that's what he said within this last week, finding out that it's possible that you pregnant.
uh,
But here y'all are on an
uh,
interview and you crying like, oh, I might be pregnant, but I'm drunk. And it's like, wait a second, those two things don't go in a sentence, baby girl. And you finding out the hard way that like you thought it was cute because society was laughing, but in real life, like,
uh,
that's not cute. And a man is not really gonna respect you and want to marry you and you be the mother of his children, knowing that that's how you act. Because who would think that that's a good way for a mother to act to raise their children?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, like but he was the main one. Like she was the main one that he was dancing for. Like she
Oh yeah,
was
both of them
dancing
is
for
nuts.
him.
Oh yeah, both of them is nuts. Him
Like,
too. I don't know why they do that toxic stuff where they like, oh, this is like her third abortion, and like I said, it's crazy. He like, oh, she was with 10 men, and I've never really watched their stuff too much other than on Twitter, because it'd be like, dang, what they
yeah.
doing now? But it's.
But like it's crazy how sorry, not to interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how they'll show like after like before she was with Blueface and then like how she is now. And it's
Mm.
like why y'all like the it just sucks, man. Like it's demons and evil spirits that are definitely within that realm and will take full advantage of you. To them, you're like a pump and dump.
Mm-hmm.
You a pump and dump. Like they know I'm gonna put you on this pedestal. You gonna act like an idiot. You gonna make me some money, and then I'm gonna dump it. Why? Because I know I'm gonna move on to the next thing, and it's a strategy for them
Mm.
in that arena. And that's why you have people that are speaking out and they getting their face in the mud because they exposing the brutality that goes on within that industry and how they really using niggas as a way to step up on. And that's unfortunate because you could have like a really beautiful person and because they now in this arena and they don't know how to navigate this arena. They don't have advisors, resources, stable-minded people that have gone through it to now be able to guide them so they can be successful and be able to navigate and go through and help somebody else. So now you have this young lady in the spotlight, and what she's known for is not something of that's that's distasteful. Now that's stacked against her. I mean, I hope the young lady finds healing and like blessings and stuff like that. But like honestly speaking, this vulnerable moment, like I've been where she's been at, where I've had like people call me out of my name. Like that's why I don't use bitch as like a term of endearment, because if you look up the term bitch, it means a dog, a wolf, a beast. I am not that. I am a beautiful black woman, and God did not make me or say my name was any word than what God and my mother have called me all this time. So for her to allow him to like disrespect her and her vice versa in public, that's disrespectful. That's how they feel about themselves on the inside. So now when people like, hey bitch, I be like, hey look, like don't call me no bitch. Like that's not, I
Right.
don't I don't I don't vibe with that. Like I immediately kind of like tense up, like because I feel like it's an attack, but I really have to like reframe it and be like, hey look love, I know you use that as a word of endearment, but that's not my thing. Like don't call me a bitch. You can call me Chai, you can call me C, you can call me hey girl,
Right.
but bitch,
And you know
don't
what?
you fucking dare, because
Again, it's just
I
this.
will
It's
cut
just this.
you.
You're like, I'm not playing, girl. But I feel it's again, it's just it's a different society because even I know this wasn't on our raw talk today because I know we like we said we had already had a
Yeah.
whole list, but who else was in the hot seat right now? Miss Carisha. Okay, Miss Carisha,
Mhm.
Miss Young Miami, because
Mhm.
what she talking about some she like to get peed on, and it's like, it was funny to watch because it was like, you just see the clip of it, but Trina's her godmother. And I'm like, number one, I know that's
Mm.
got to be awkward for your godmother to see you over here saying that. Although you young Miami and, doing what you do, I'm sure it's what it is. But you saying you like to get peed on, and we all know you with Diddy. So you over here getting peed on by Diddy and saying that it do something to you. And now everybody calling him P. Diddy. And it's like, again, you always get that where people just like, some things you don't gotta say for everybody. Like we get it, it's entertaining, but like that's what these people call entertaining now, right? They're just doing anything to get that entertainment value now, and it's
Anything.
like,
What's that song by Migos? Do anything for clout.
right, like that's all it
Do anything
is now.
for
Like, and
clout.
that's it's so sad because, like you said, not only is it these men that's pumping and dumping, but these females know that too, right? Like, oh well, I just
Yeah.
need one thing to get me on, and then I'm in there, and then from there I can keep sticking and moving from there too. So they okay with
Exactly.
15 minutes of getting their head blown out if that means, oh, now they put on and willing to do whatever. And not
Exactly.
not to say that that's her mo, but again, it's just again the pattern that we see again with females being willing to at least, because if you would have really been uncomfortable in that situation, well, I can't say you would have because everybody's different, and I can't judge any relationship or situation, but you just
Exactly.
you just know again, where it's like, oh, you got to show, so maybe you are being a little extra for the clout and things like that, because that kind of
Mhm.
stuff is how you eat at this point, because I ain't heard no music from Blueface. I don't know
So
what
I
they
ain't hear
really
a
do,
drop.
other than
Even if he
this.
did, I'd be like, this is terrible.
Right.
Like Blueface, he's known for not being on beat.
Exactly. And so all
Like
they have
at this point,
is this reality
each
show
other.
that's filled with drama, and it's just like, so at that point, it's just like, oh well, if we blow, we know this is gonna be a hit, so we not tripping, we gonna let it go there, compared to like a normal couple that's gonna be like, you know what, I'm not gonna say this extra thing because I know it's just gonna stir more problems in my relationship. And I think that's why it just becomes
Yeah,
more toxic because they're not looking for solutions. They're looking for the problems.
exactly. It's like, what's the next problem we could talk about so we can get more
Hmm.
ratings, more
Okay.
numbers, guys? And then it's
Okay.
just like, okay, if who's producing this, who's
Right.
the executive producer on this,
Right.
and whose money is backing this up? Because those are the people that is putting you on TV, that's making you that like.
You already know how that joint go, but hey, that's why we said that's why we start to see the patterns, right? Like, oh, look at all of these young joints up here just being disrespected and making it seem cool to be disrespected. Cause Queen Latifah would never. Queen Latifah would never.
Queen Latifah never,
But
ever.
but again, it's again that message that was being preached, right? Unity, respect. Like these were the messages that was in our music too that we were even preaching. So that's why it's important for people like us to come out and still be preaching those messages too. Like, hey, if that's not what you want, that's cool too. If that is what you want, that's cool. Again, we ain't no judgment. But we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna talk about, are you doing it because it really liberates you, or are you doing it because you feel like you have to because you're with this man that's providing for you now? Because I've definitely seen a lot of that as well, where it's like, I mean, I know that has to come with that culture on, oh, if you get in with men and they paying for everything. From my experience, men like that don't be the nicest, and usually be a little extra when it comes to
Cause that's
you feel me, when they're trying to tell you to do
yeah,
something, and you need to do it at that point. And again, that's that toxicity, right, where it's like, okay, well, now you have to accept whatever, and that's normal because that's just become the normal lifestyle, and that's not normal. And especially for someone who
oof,
wants to have a daughter, I don't want her to think that she has to just be willing to do whatever to be with a man that's gonna take care of her.
exactly.
You know?
I say come with your own stuff. Come with your own stuff, and if it don't work out, leave with your own stuff.
Okay.
Okay? If
And
y'all
y'all
gonna
can build
bring together
together.
something,
Right.
exactly. Say it.
And that's
Build
what we
together.
missing too. And again, when you get in those relationships, that's what you start to get. I remember when my husband and I had got married early. This I was the first out of all my friends, and y'all, I just turned 28 on my birthday. So I'm like, I just realized myself like, okay, I'm still a little young. So I was like maybe 23 when I got married. So none of my friends had been married yet. Like I was about to be a city girl my dang self. So that's why I'd be like, no judgment on life paths, but nonetheless, one of my friends, she had got with her dude shortly after, and all of her friends was like, oh, he's crazy for thinking, because they had just moved into an apartment, and she got a good job, he got a good job, and they're like, oh, he's crazy for trying to make you pay bills, like that's not the man you want to be with. I'm like, they are crazy, first of all, and not realistic. If y'all together and you got money, he got money, y'all got responsibilities, that's how y'all start to figure out how y'all can really move ahead. And it was little talks like that people's not having. Like literally all of her friends was on some, oh, F him, move out, that's not the one. And I'm like, girl, they just mad because you just moved in with your man and y'all can really do some other things. And you don't start to realize that until you be in that
Exactly.
situation, you know? And it's just sick in
Exactly.
the head, man, nowadays.
And I say like do whatever makes you comfortable. Like if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you want to have somebody pay the bills, or if you want to be a gold digger, live your true life, right?
Okay.
And even for a second, I thought like, like how dare he not pay all the bills? Like I'm not paying for anything, and I'm just like trying to, how are you gonna expect somebody to take care of you, and you ain't doing what you need to do to take care of you.
Right.
So it's just like, come with your own shit.
Exactly.
Look, this is
Because
what I got. This is what I bring to the table. I'm an asset. This is my value, and it's
right.
high.
Right.
and you need to match that. Otherwise, you need to get lost.
And the rest fall in line. Think about it. If you come in with
Exactly.
what you got, your significant other coming in what he got, and y'all start building, everything else is gonna fall in line. Cause then what? Y'all gonna start building your own businesses, your own investments, and y'all roles is gonna
Exactly.
fit right into place. And like you said, everybody has their own version of what that looks like, And
Hmm.
I think that's the amazing part about it. And I think it's just that message of healthy, right? Do what makes you
Yeah.
feel comfortable, not what society says you have to do, not what a man or another woman says you have to do, not what your parents say you got to do, but yourself, what you want in a relationship
Exactly.
and what makes you feel fulfilled and, what you can bring, like you said. So that was a powerful message right there for all of our listeners, ladies, fellas. We hope y'all hear us because we talking to both of y'all. We know, y'all heard us. Hey, we room for the fellas and for the ladies. We not biased because we know ain't neither side perfect. And
Yeah.
when you can learn, when everybody takes accountability, again, that's where the learning and growth can actually happen.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Because I was on that mindset of like just I was gonna be a passenger princess, and I'm starting to look like I'm like that's not realistic. That's not realistic at all. Like you gotta bring something to the table. It can't just be you. I mean, yeah, you. I mean, you're great too. Like, don't get me
right.
wrong, you're great too. But it has to be more.
But now look
It
how
has
simple
it's
look
just
how simple even what you come with now is where it's like how you're saying that that's how someone like one of our members Shiva how she lives where she's at home doing this taking care of her kids and her husband is out actually providing. That's a healthy balance. It's not saying like
exactly.
it you just is because everybody has their own thing even if it wasn't. I remember when I first again started this like, oh, I'm staying at home. I love just being in nature. Like I'm doing all this digital stuff, but when I really am like my happiest, that's why you don't even see me half of the day because I'm just like in my home. Like that is my happy place, and that I'm one of those women. Like, hey, I just want to be a nice, happy housewife. I'm ready to be barefoot and pregnant and popping out babies and have like 100 kids running around in like our own territory.
Yes.
But
I think
that
I just realized that today.
what
That like that's what I want. Like I want to just like be like not out in the middle of nowhere, but just like off the grid, just happy. Like I want however many babies my husband was, but I was just like I want a lot of babies. I was scared because I'm still in that phase of like developing myself and constantly loving myself, but also, being stern with myself, like making sure I'm disciplined and accountable. So it's just finding that balance. But in addition to, I want to share that with somebody as well. And I told God the other day, like, I'm open to that, God. Like,
uh-oh.
I know it's not right now, but like, along the line, I'm open to that. And for so long, I was just like, hell no, like kids, like family. I'm living my fast life. I'm
I
on the go.
remember a
Like
few
I
of your
don't have
responses
time.
like that.
And I was just like, you're scared. And what are you scared of? And I'm scared like I'm gonna be a bad parent. I'm scared that I'm gonna pass down on generational curses. But I'm just like, but you can control that by doing the work now. So
Mm.
put that fear aside. Be open to what God is letting you receive, allowing you to receive. Receive it, do the work, and like watch everything fall into place. So
Whew.
it's a process, but you gotta get there, and you gotta tell yourself the truth and like always hold yourself accountable and have people around you that's gonna hold you accountable. Like, hey, that don't sound right. That don't sound healthy. And that's what you I know that was a tangent, from Blueface to
Hey, but
loving yourself, but it was all encompassed.
it is because I mean, think about it. That's what it's all about. That's the messages that we have to be getting from, these people, because I know we talk a lot about trending news, which ends up being a lot of celebrities, but it's like, again, you don't know their stories, you only know yours. And it's like, how can you just take what you see, a little bit, and apply it so that you can learn from people, because we can learn from everybody, right? And it's like, that's how you then can see this kind of stuff and not use it to be like, oh, well, I want to follow along their story because I love it or don't love it. But it's like, okay, well, how can I see this and make sure that I have a healthy relationship, or like you said, you are open to, all kind of things now. So you got to know what you want to not be open to as well, and those red flags and these kind of conversations.
Exactly.
And so that kind of stuff is important.
Exactly. Exactly. That's that. Know what you don't want.
Okay, and
Like,
that's wrong.
that is not it. Period. That's wrong. That's all wrong. Okay? Like, that's raw talk for you.
Okay, so
But yeah, that was a little tangent, y'all. We got our next topic. Did anybody have like any remarks before we transition into our next topic? Anything y'all felt in your heart that was raw? Like, unmute yourself. If not, then we gonna move on to this next topic. All right. All right, guys. So the next topic is going to be Twitter coins. Oh, I'm excited about this.
Oh,
Hey,
yes.
I'm gonna put this out there. I feel like a lot of people are tired of Elon Musk. Like, he's not receiving no love.
I agree.
Everybody,
People
like every time
mad.
Elon raises his hand and speak up, everybody's like, "Sit down, sit down, sit down, Elon."
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Oh, he's not receiving no love.
I get it. I think it's like 50-50. I get it because I think he's like a lot like I feel you when you said that in that corner where it's just like you got your vision and nobody else gets it, but you keep going. So I always feel like me and Elon will be cool in that kind of like sense. But then I also think that he has this like sense that it's like he wants to like rule the world, and I don't know. It does. I don't know if I 1,000% trust it. I don't know. That's the off-putting thing. Like he gives me like like evil scientist. Like how like in the movies when they show you like the person who wants to like take over the world. I've never seen that person until I seen Elon Musk, and it's like that guy wants to take over the world.
Dang. Yeah, cause he even today on Instagram or Twitter, it was like on Instagram, but it was a Twitter thread, and he put like Teslas are the safest vehicles in the world, and people were going ham in the comments talking about there was just an 8-car pileup, and other people are like, yeah, like it's it's the safest car ever, and it's just like you have like people that like support and believe, like you said, like those two sides, and like some people stand in like limbo, and I think like I'm limbo to, you know, sometimes people don't see the journey, but then also to like he's taken over Twitter. Like what else is he gonna? He's already in like tech and auto.
He's trying to put the whole
space.
chip in your brain thing, and like that's again where I'd be like, I'm like too far for me right there. Like I'm all for like learning and tech and trying different things, but it's like, but I don't want that thing in my brain because like I don't need that right there.
Yeah, drilling that thing in your brain. I'm like,
and I mean when you say like, that, my kid actually had allergic reactions to his vaccines when he was younger, and I seen them have to drill holes in his head to drain freaking mercury and crap out of his head. So when you say that kind of stuff, again, it just brings me back, like, been there, done that. I've seen what it brings, and I'm not going down that path again.
Right.
Never would I ever.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
And so,
especially when it comes to, and I actually asked people, I was like, I know they're gonna trip you, right? And they be looking at me like, what the fuck? You're supposed to be just helping me with my service. You ain't supposed to be talking about this shit. And I'm like, I'm like, I be freaking people out, man. It'd be the funniest thing because it's just like, yeah, this is gonna be your reality. Have you
Mm-hmm.
ever thought about it? And people don't think about it. They're like,
They
nobody's gonna chip me. I'm
they
like,
better,
fool.
man.
They gonna make it seem like this grandiose thing. You already know they have the commercials where they tell you like if you take this pill, it'll get rid of this, but it has like 50,000
Mm-hmm.
things that are gonna kill you. And
Mm-hmm.
then somebody might be playing tennis, laughing on the commercial while they're telling you to take this damn synthetic drug that's gonna kill you but cure this one goddamn thing, and you're like, you don't think they're gonna do that?
Yeah.
And make it seem like it's the best thing in the world to fucking do this?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, y'all, but like
Hey, I get you, and so
this world is crazy, man.
it is, and I
And like
think
people don't just wake up.
yeah, and I think that's why it's again important to have these just kind of healthy conversations because it's happening. You know, we have to be in the know. Davos just happened. We were streaming that here in all the spaces. I just seen freaking they had Fat Joe there and another company called Earn Your Leisure. And I'm like, oh God, Fat Joe and Earn Your Leisure is at Davos. I'm like, this is about to be all over the black community and everybody about to know what Davos is now. And it's just like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's happening and more people are going to be aware of it. And again, I think that's why we have to talk about the goal of where we're heading and the good stuff that we can do with the tech. And as long as we focus on that, I think there's still a lot of really great builders in the space. And I'm not saying that Elon is bad. You know, I would I
Mm-mm,
would
not
hope
at
that he
all.
has like good
That is
intention.
not what we're saying.
Right. I do think that he has good intention. I don't get him as a bad intention kind of person necessarily. Um, it's just again with the power of tech, you know, it's just that's what it is, the power of tech. And so with that power, let's get into these Twitter coins because that is actually what Mr. Elon is doing with that power this week. And so NFT underscore God, who also drops a lot of really great Twitter threads, so make sure you follow them. Dropped this really great thread about Twitter coins and how it's coming to radically change the platform. So the idea is better content equals more money. And so he says, if you ever dreamed about making a living off Twitter, here are 6 simple steps you need to take now. And so I'll kind of go through this Twitter thread so you guys get the idea on how this will work. Number one, Mr. Beast makes 30 million per year on YouTube. The first Twitter empires are being born now. In this thread, I'll cover what are coins, network like a lunatic, build your brand, master threads, start a regular space, learn how to make videos, and improve your writing. So, number one, what is Twitter coins? Coins is how content creators will make money on Twitter. Create good content, and you'll be rewarded by the community. Coins will be purchasable with cash through Stripe. They'll be redeemable for cash. A minimum is $50 to cash out. Content equals
Oh, that
cash.
sucks.
Oh, what sucks? Oh, you have to have a minimum of $50 to cash out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. It reminds me of this one platform that I was on before, BBS Market. You remember? Do you remember when I was on that? I don't know if you do.
Mm-hmm.
It was many moons ago. But that is how they were like. Where it was like, you would post and then people could retweet it, and if they retweeted it, then it would be like they could buy it so that when other people retweeted it, they would also make money off of it as well. And then you would make more money as people liked it. But what I can see here, one thing about this kind of system that I want people to understand is you get coins because your followers buy coins. So it's not just like, oh, because somebody likes it, now you got a coin. It's like, oh, you would spend $20 and then you would get like 20 coins, and now you got 20 coins to give to your content creators. So if you like my post,
Mm.
then you can give me a coin that you have already.
Mm.
If that makes sense. So that's why I've seen some of these kind of platforms kind of not do well. Like I know there was a black one. What was that black one, babe? That was like Instagram. I can't remember the fan base. That was the name of it. Fan base was like that as well, where it was like, again, you buy likes and then you give your likes to your content creators, because then when you like it, they then make money off of it. So that's kind of how that goes. So it's very interesting, especially if it picks up. Again, I think a lot of the things that people don't realize with Twitter is like you already have a domain. It's already very like integrated with crypto. That's why like people can now connect their NFTs to it. So I think again, this is just going to help starting to streamline a lot of stuff like that. And that's all I was even saying. It helps us with our point system, right? Like, hey, share a topic, you get a point, get a few points, then you get this, and then you get that. So Elon having this coins and like, you know, rewarding content creators and this idea of ecosystem, it number one shows people that number one, we not crazy and we know something that we got going on over here. So they probably better get in, you know, into it, because they don't know how to necessarily orchestrate that. And again, it just shows that economy that we're moving into, that we always be telling people like everything is going to be subscription based, everything is going to be about peer-to-peer transactions, and you giving this money to them, and that being how we can, even like we said, you can do what you do and that be worth value, you know. And so
we're telling people this, like, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I be telling people this just out of like randomness, and they look so stressed. I'm like, it's not something to be stressed about. It's just like, hey, look, this is what's going on. Just be aware. You heard this word before. Look into it to see what it is.
Mm-hmm. And that's all it is. You just got to start learning. I did a really nice podcast with Jazzy from Got Your Back for Evolutionaries. I know you guys may have already seen it. I have one with D'Anthony Thomas that's here. Shout out to that episode. But she's not as far into her digital journey. And our whole message together was just, it doesn't matter how far you are. You just have to, you know, don't try to be getting all your ducks in a row before you cross the road. You grab your ducks and you run across the street, because if you spend all that time trying to get your ducks in a row, you're never going to get across the street. So, you know, it's just about taking that leap and learning, diving into it. And so one of the things I really liked about this Twitter thread is that's exactly what he had talked about, which is what number one, networking and actually building a network. Some action items you could do, like, you know, following creators, DMing them, hosting a Twitter space. I'm not going to read in all of the details here. Again, you can go into our Discord and find it. But you see, practice writing a thread a week, bookmarking threads, like that. So you see, I have this thread here, starting a regular space, doing some things that can really help you start to build a community and an ecosystem, because again, that's what's going to be one of the most invaluable things in the future, along with data, is an organic community that you can really connect with, and that supports you and your work and things like that. So very excited to see how that grows and continues to stimulate our Web3 ecosystem.
Exactly. And like you put that in the when I seen that you put it in Raw Talk, he was like, oh, how look how similar that is. And I didn't, as soon as you said that, I was like, that makes sense. As soon as I like pressed on the tab, I'm like, oh, they got like a coin and stuff like that. And I'm like, me, I I didn't have Twitter until like I came back to like the Raw DAO, and I'm like, or it was like transitioning back into um the DAO, and I'm like, dang, I don't know Twitter. Like everybody's been on Twitter before. I've never really used Twitter, so it's gonna be very interesting how if that's gonna like transition for content, and then how Instagram gonna try to hop on that same wave. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it was one of those things, just like you said. I wasn't on Twitter either. It was one of those things I had back when I was in school. Didn't have it once I really wasn't my adulthood. Once I had my kid, I just was like over social media. And so I deleted everything. But when I came back into NFTs, it was just like, oh wait, the NFT community is on Twitter, so you got to go on Twitter. And then you kind of go in there and then, start looking at hashtags and how to connect with people. Twitter Spaces, I would say, is one of the best ways to connect with people. Large Twitter Spaces is cool to listen in, but even the smaller ones where it's just like easy to get on the stage, talk to other people that have projects, talking about different interesting topics. That's where, again, you get to start building a lot of really raw connections with people all over the world with like common interests. I think that's the really cool thing about these ecosystems is that it's like, hey, you can say, like we said, our niche is physical to digital. So look at all the people that we've met that are like interested in things going physical to digital, right? But it's like people have even smaller niche and even more specific, and it's really cool to see like communities that all enjoy those kind of things coming together, talking about that stuff. And yeah, Twitter is definitely a place where you want to be. If you're not looking in Web3, you guys see that's where we pull up a lot of those Twitter threads. So make sure you go get on Twitter, see what's happening. Try a lot of new apps as well. We just got on AMP. AMP is a new app that Amazon just dropped, and it's kind of like it's kind of like Clubhouse and Spotify together, and it's by Amazon. So, a lot of people just like Facebook already have Amazon accounts. So I think it's one of those things as it becomes more and more popular that more and more people will opt into easily because they already use those projects. And it's like Twitter Spaces where it's like you can talk, but then you can play a whole music, like a whole song and listen to music, and everybody just listen to music together too, and then talk whenever you want to. So it's definitely interesting, like you said, to see how people, all of these platforms pick different things and kind of mimic each other and try to do something different and, keep getting better and better, honestly, from a user's perspective.
We already turning up, so I can just imagine what everybody else is doing and how that's gonna like how we're gonna transition and build and grow and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited. So
Yeah, and trying it. That's the beauty of trying the new apps as well. You may feel like, oh man, well, everybody's already been on Twitter. I've got no followers. Well, get on one of these new apps where everybody got no followers. And then, you'll be one of those first people there. And that's where you get to build a nice stand so that as new people come in, they have to go, to you first as they're building. So, really great conversation there. Welcome everyone in the space. We're having raw talk. We just finished talking about Twitter coins and how that's coming to Twitter and how everybody can kind of start building their community around it. We've talked about a lot of crazy things that's been happening all throughout society, but we've got one more topic that we need to talk about before we wrap up this episode of Raw Talk. So, Chai, what is happening?
oh my gosh, this is great. I appreciate. It was Mo. Was it you or
Yeah.
Shiva that put this?
Yeah, I had dropped
It
that in.
was
I
you.
seen it in Shiva's
Oh,
Twitter,
okay.
or her Shiva's Instagram, and then I shared it.
Oh, okay, okay. So I appreciate you guys both for like putting this because like I had such a great time laughing throughout the thread. So this is Shakira. So Shakira has been like very heavy in the media. Even last year with her taxes situation, now like her ex cheated on her and she noticed that somebody ate her strawberry jam. So it's literally like a thread of like comments and like memes describing like how this girl found out somebody ate her jam and how she got cheated on. Because the hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. That's my favorite one.
No, I definitely agree. But you know what? It's gotta be because her husband ain't never ate her strawberry jam before, so it's like It's gotta be some like like boy, come on, that's crazy. That's all I can say. Like that's wild. First of all, cheating on Shakira is wild. In her house where you got your joint eating her jam, I'm telling you, the disrespect is out of this world, this generation.
No, it really is. It's just funny how um people have like all these memes and stuff
I
going
know.
on, and I'm like,
That was my
what?
question. Like, how many scoops did the mistress had to eat for you to realize
Like,
that there was some in the?
did she have like did she have like some toast? Did she have like butter and then she put jam on it?
That's what
Like,
I'm
was the butter
thinking.
inside, or it was so many scoops she noticed? Like,
That's
did
what
she
I'm trying
have
to
like was the
think.
jar
But you know
already
what?
open and she had
I'm
some
you
scoops?
thinking about it now. She actually probably did buy some type of bougie jelly, and jelly be expensive. And if you get it in them jars, it if
Really
you
good
make a
jelly?
scoop or two, it do make a little dent in your jelly. So if she didn't have that, if she didn't have that much, she probably did notice, and it was like, it was giving me flashbacks of when Eve was like, "Who drank my apple juice?" It's like,
Oh damn!
you feel me? Like, hold
So
up.
you really mad?
Okay, like that's how I imagine her. Like, hold up. I know you ain't never ate no strawberry jelly, because otherwise the husband could have been like, I ate the jelly. Like, he had to been like, I don't like the
Exactly.
jelly. I ain't never gonna eat it. So it's a clear like
Yeah.
somebody else had to have ate this jelly.
Exactly. That's crazy.
And so
That's crazy.
that was my question. How many scoops do you think the joint had to eat in order for Shakira to notice that it was missing?
I'm saying she might have bought like a fresh jar.
Ooh,
And she's
dang,
like, I know I didn't eat
no,
no
the
jelly.
mistress didn't open up no fresh jar. That's super disrespectful. I don't believe that
Mad
one.
disrespectful.
Dang, Chai said
Like
she
y'all
opened
had
the
first
fresh
of all, you have
jar.
her like she's like, oh, like, and you have this fucking female rolling around in your house, going in your fridge, touching your food. Oh,
Oh,
I would raise hell. Like I
oh.
would make his life so miserable. It would be
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I'll be like,
Like
you could have.
everywhere you go, you would see me. Like there would be no place you could hide that you
Oh,
wouldn't hear me, see me. Like I would
crazy.
just make his life hell. That's crazy.
Right, because now look at
That's
her.
mad
Now she been
disrespectful.
dragged into social media. Like you said, it already don't be easy on her. She always got something. Now she got to be in the news because niggas ate
I
her
remember
strawberry
everybody
jelly.
loved Shakira. I remember everybody like loved Shakira.
We
Like
all still do
she
love
did a little
Shakira.
hip thing.
Uh-huh. I seen one of the comments was like,
Yeah.
I would be in Shakira's belly dancing chains eating her jelly too if I was in her house. I was like, what is wrong with people?
That was funny as hell. That
Oh,
is funny. But
boy.
that's, I mean, like, that shows you what type of person he is. Like,
Yeah,
maybe he
right?
did you a favor. Like,
You
if he willing to, like, let somebody
eat
that
your
you don't
jelly. Eat your
know,
favorite
in
jelly
your
that
own
you know
house,
you don't play about,
eat your
sis.
favorite fucking
He
jelly,
don't care about
like,
you. He don't care about you.
I can understand if you, like, if we separated and you doing your thing and he stated that, we set boundaries, that's fine.
She
But
was
don't
probably
let no
excited to
female
come
come into
home.
my
Right?
house,
She was excited to come home,
eat
eat
my
her peanut butter
favorite
and
jelly.
jelly, and seeing her jelly was messed with.
That's okay, what's a food for you like nobody else could touch?
Um,
Like, y'all cannot touch this. If y'all touch this, like, I'm
we
cutting your
usually
hand.
get different ice creams. I usually get my chocolate ice cream, and they usually get they ice cream or whatever they get. But it's like I get mine, and then they get theirs. And
And if
that's
anybody
mine.
touch it, like,
You feel me? And
has
my
anyone ever
kid is
touched
at an
that chocolate
age.
ice cream?
My kid is at an age where he don't get that, and it's like I already shared with him, and he tried to come back when I can't got mine back out, and I'm like, no, you already ate yours. This is still mine. um,
Right. This is strictly for me. Okay. Like, touch this. I'm just.
you
I'm
feel
like,
me?
look,
Like you said,
touch
we
this. I'm
all
not
got
mommy
stuff that we
anymore.
share stuff, but it's like, look, this might want ice cream. Okay, this it. That's all I asked for.
It's like you touch this ice cream. I'm not mommy anymore. I'm Mo.
Okay.
Okay, so
You
put your
don't,
hands
you don't want
out.
that. He's so funny. He's an officer too. He be coming and locking you up. Like, nah, you going to jail for 5 minutes. So, because like you said,
Oh
people
my god.
that's disrespectful. People know how to handle their
Yes.
disrespect. So, I'm happy for Shakira that she said, you know what, I'm not tolerating it. I'm out of here. And I mean, when you cheat on me and you cheat on me and let her eat my jelly, that's just crazy. So she,
And I'm not paying my taxes.
what? She got too
I'm
much
already
other
going through
stuff to be
enough.
dealing with. To be dealing with that kind of
Yeah.
nonsense.
Well, you supposed to be rubbing my back, telling me it's gonna be all right.
Okay, now over here eating my
Mm.
jelly. Shoot,
Here.
jelly expensive.
Now
That's what
you're
I'm
eating my
saying. He's
fucking
causing more
jelly.
issues and stress.
Man, like really good jam. Like they make this out there in some like random farm, and they got like old wooden tools to like
You know she got it
mash
when
the
it said her
jelly and
strawberry
create it.
jelly. I'm like, oh, I know she got the good strawberry jelly with the
And
strawberry
strawberry
chunks in it.
jelly is good. I don't like grape.
I'm telling
Grape, you
you,
can put that
I only
away.
get strawberry jelly.
But
That's how I know
strawberry,
this, bruh.
I
it,
would have been
it
like,
only take a
I
few
would like the
scoops.
gloves are coming off. The gloves are coming off.
Oh well,
Oh my gosh.
this has
Oh, this has
been,
been great. Like, I miss this.
yes, this has been one
I
raw
miss this so much.
conversation. Y'all see how we do here.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll be back every Saturday. Like we said, you see in the Discord how we go and pull it. So if you see anything crazy, drop it in the Discord because we also talk about it right there. I also loved how a lot of people were commenting when they seen stuff dropping, and I'm like, yes, talk about it because then we can also talk about a few little comments here in the raw talk. Like, oh yeah, somebody said this, and then we'll shout that out here at that time as well. So y'all see how we doing it. We're gonna
Oh
keep
yeah.
getting better every episode. Chai, did you have anything else that you wanted to say before we wrap this up today?
No, I just appreciate everybody for being here. This is like our first episode for the new year, and I just wanted to come with so much energy. And shout out to Pickle for following me on Spatial. You are a rock star. But other than that, like, as always, Mo, it has been such a pleasure. And I can't wait to be back here next week chopping it up with you guys and laughing and keeping it raw as always.
Whoop whoop. You guys heard it. We'll be back next Saturday, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Keeping it raw, doing what we do. Like we said, we got these cute metaverse mugs now. Get your physical one, get your digital one, whatever you're trying to do.
Yes.
Just do it. Come be a part of the conversation. And we'll be here. Catch you next week. Peace.
Peace.